Hello, everybody. I recently mentioned offhand that I started playing WoW again, and I had gotten a couple comments being like, "Oh, you're playing WoW," and it made me think like I have been that guy literally in the past to my own friends, like, "Oh, you're playing that game," and it's something that I've over the past year or two. I don't know if it's just because I'm getting older or because I'm noticing it more, but it's something that I've actively tried to avoid doing because you get to a point where you unintentionally, most of the time, you're shaming somebody for playing a game that they're enjoying. And that's something that I wanted to talk about, which is why I'm making this video. Obviously, the game in the background is WoW, and obviously I have been playing it again for several reasons, and I will talk about that. But what I want to start with is, I think it's completely okay to play whatever video game you want to play. As long as it's not breaking any laws, then I think it's completely fine to play whatever game you are enjoying at that time, because there's two things here. One, it's your time to play a game because most people are busy people, and two, going along with that is you only have a finite amount of time to play games. Not everybody is a streamer or a content creator, and sure, that would be great, but it's not feasible for everybody to be that person. So I think because you have that finite amount of time, it's completely okay to play the games you want to play, and don't let people tell you otherwise. If you want to play Hello Kitty Island Adventure, you know what? You damn well go play that game, because if it's going to make you happy, to make you enjoy that game, go nuts. A Barbie game comes out on Steam, you're like, actually, you know what? That kind of looks pretty good. Get it and play it. I'm not going to judge you for it, at least not anymore. Because over the past couple of years, I've realized that it doesn't really matter. And to give an example, when Mists of Pandaria was out for WoW, and Six Pounder, who does stuff on our channel, was playing that game, we would do that to him. He would go and play and raid, and we'd be like, ugh, raiding? You're playing WoW? You should just stop. And I think he may admit to it or not, but I think it did kill his desire to continue playing the game, and I don't think that's okay. Whether it did or not, it doesn't really matter, but at the end of the day, I think him playing that game that he wanted to play, whether it's WoW or anything else, is down to him. And we, as his friends, really don't have any say in that. We can give him suggestions, and in fact, that's this whole thing with this channel, is we like giving suggestions for games because we play, like, there's a lot of us, and we play several different games, I think Alex is a good example of someone who enjoys different games than I do. I'm not a Dark Souls fan, but you know what? He certainly is, and he will suggest the heck out of that game, and certain people will really enjoy it. And if you want to play Dark Souls, it's not my thing, but I'm not going to judge you for it. I'm just be like, you go nuts, you go play your Dark Souls game, and you have fun with that. Me, not, like I said, not my thing. So, also, it's a two-way street. You don't shame me for not wanting to play it. It's just not my thing. I don't want to invest the time into it. I don't think it's the game that I want to play. It's too slow for me. If it was more like Bloodborne or, may I say, Metal Gear Solid Revengeance or Bayonetta, stuff like that, I would totally play it, because I like the quicker, crazy stuff games, which is why I love Doom so much, and why I think everybody should go play Doom, like, right now, if you haven't played it. The new Doom, that is, because it's so freaking good, and so well done. But you know what? I also understand, rather, that people are not necessarily, like, that may not be their game, and they may not necessarily like it. But I know that I do, so I'm going to suggest it to you. But if you don't want to play it, that's completely cool. And this comes back to the WoW thing of, and to give you some history, I had played the alpha, and I know a lot of people say that, but honestly, I truly did play the alpha. I didn't get very high of level. I think I stopped around like 20, 25, or 20, actually. I don't even remember. It was so long ago, and I was like in high school. I don't even remember if they allowed you past a certain point. I'm pretty sure the level cap was 20 at one point. That's when I was playing, and I didn't get there. I remember I saw enough and went, okay, these human models look I was playing Alliance at the time, but the human models look so freaking bad. I couldn't stand it. So I said, okay, I know that they're going to change a ton of stuff, so I'm going to wait and come back in the beta. When I did come back in the beta, I did enjoy it a lot more. Never got to max level in the beta, which they ended up bringing all the way up towards the end. Instead, I waited for the game to release, and then I jumped in and played, and the moment, like, I'm not even joking, the moment I hit level 60 on my druid, my restoration druid, I didn't tank back in the day. I was actually a healer through all of classic WoW. It wasn't until Burning Crusade that I became a tank, primarily, and that's what I'm known for now, but back then, when I hit 60, that very first night, I was in Molten Core because I had people that I was playing with, and they were raiding, and they wanted me in there because they needed a healer. So, like, I go all the way back with this game, and I really enjoyed it back in Vanilla, and then I played Burning Crusade, and then I played Wrath of the Lich King. But at that point, right when the Trials of the... Yeah, is it Trial of the Grand Crusader? See, I don't even know because I didn't play it. Right when that came out, I stopped playing. And I didn't do ICC when it was out. I didn't do the Lich King or anything. But once Cataclysm came back out, that's what drew me back to the game, because it was like, oh, they're redoing all the old stuff and everything. And Cataclysm was fantastic. It was a lot of fun. But I think at that point, at the end of Cataclysm, we all kind of were at the same spot, most of us, which was we had played too much WoW over the years. Most of us were in the same position I was, where we played since Vanilla or Classic or whatever you want to call it, and we got to the point where like we need a palate cleanser. So we went and played SWTOR, and we were really excited for that. Obviously, that's where most people know the channel from, is a lot of SWTOR stuff, and that was a wildly successful game for us to cover. But at the same time, the channel, this YouTube channel, got started on WoW. We originally uploaded all of our progression raids and kills, in like Firelands and in what's the name of that? It's the Dragon Soul. There we go. Because we had other teams in our guild that weren't clearing it like we were, and our goal, it was good intentions, which was to give them a reference point to be like, this is how we're doing it. You don't have to do it our way, but this might help you. And what ended up happening was there was some weird inter-guild thing. I don't remember it exactly, and anytime I talk to the other people who were involved in it, they don't remember it exactly. But the gist of it was they felt like we were trying to rub it in their faces that we were further progressed than them. And at the end of the day, that wasn't the case. We just really wanted them to do well because they were in the same guild as us. And we were competing against other people on the server, so why not have a little bit of rivalry in our guild to make all of us better? That was our intent, and that's why we uploaded the videos, and that's how we started the channel. And then from there, we switched to SWTOR, and we covered the beta and everything, and then those of us who switched had one foot out the door for Dragon Soul, which was the final raid in Cataclysm. We never really ended up finishing it too much. We got to we killed Deathwing and everything, but I don't think we ever killed heroic Deathwing. I had pretty much stuck around in WoW until they filled my position, and then I was out. And when I had a person that I was confident filling my position, and then I was done, and I was starting to play SWTOR. So that's kind of the history there. I didn't play for any of Mists of Pandaria, though Six Pounder has stated, and so has other people I've talked to, that it was really good, if not one of the best expansions they came out with. Then they came out with Warlords of Draenor, which is the current expansion, and that was bad. But you know what? I see what they're doing with Legion, and it's everything I ever wanted. From the very get-go, when they first announced an expansion with Burning Crusade, I've said this before, I wanted them to make a Demon Hunter. I was on the freaking forums back in the day, the old WoW forums, being like, it's got to be Demon Hunter. They got to come out with a Demon. It makes sense because Illidan's an Outland and everything. And they ended up going with the two different races, and then when Wrath of the Lich King came out, they went with the Death Knight. It was like, okay, whatever. But now they're finally coming out with a Demon Hunter. It looks awesome. It looks like It actually looks like you're playing Wildstar, which doesn't surprise me in the least because the combat in that game is the best part. And then on top of all that, they're also giving you like all these crazy stuff. Like you're starting the expansion with a legendary weapon and you carry that with you and it levels up with you, but it has its own like tree that you augment and you make that weapon better. So like if you really want the Doom Hammer, you get the Doom Hammer as a shaman and stuff. And I think that's really fun, which is why I am back to playing WoW, because it was everything that I loved about vanilla is kind of going into this Legion expansion. And I think I am by far not the only one that thinks that, because I have seen a significant amount of people coming back to this game, not just me. And I think Blizzard has done a good job with it. But at the same time, I'm seeing a lot of people also doing that shaming thing. Oh, you're back to playing WoW. Why are you playing that old game? Why am I playing that old game? Because it's freaking fantastic. You know, it's going back to its roots. It's taking us to the place that we always wanted to go, which is like to have the demon hunters, to have these crazy weapons that are iconic in the game. And now we're going to be like leading our classes because they kind of figured out like, oh, you've saved the world enough. You probably should be the leader of, you know, the Death Knights, or you should be the leader of the Druids, because you know what, you're the one saving the world every single time, so why not? I think that's really cool. It's a cool concept, but we still get the people who either have never played WoW, and I totally understand that, or have played WoW and don't want to go back, making sure that they're making it their mission that everybody else thinks that way too. But I don't think it matters, you know? If you're that guy, it doesn't matter. Because, you know, these people want to play the game that they want to play, whether it be for nostalgia or because it's just a good game. And I can say firmly, as someone who stopped playing before Mists of Pandaria came out, came back now at the end of Warlords, which was not a good expansion, and I can see that, and seeing what Legion is bringing, I think the game is in a fantastic spot. Like, they redid all the classes, everything they did is really, really good, and everything they're gonna do is really, really awesome with this expansion. But we still get the people shaming people for playing this game. Like, I don't understand why that's a thing. At the end of all this, I think the one piece of advice I can give you guys that will actually improve your own relationships with the people you know and are friends with gaming-wise is let your friends play the games that they want to play. And if a game looks interesting to you, go and play it, because you should play a game to have fun and not because other people are playing it. This was something that I fell into the trap in back in like 2006 when I graduated high school and when Call of Duty was starting to get pretty big. I did that whole like, oh, Modern Warfare is coming out. Oh, that's really good. And Modern Warfare 2. Oh my gosh, if you're not playing this game, you're dumb because everybody should play this game, and you're not cool if you don't play this game. And it's so juvenile when you look back on it, but it's true. That's the way that we thought, and I think that's the way people still think. But yeah, at the end of the day, I really enjoy WoW right now. I'm really having fun. I honestly am having so much fun that so there's a long story with my account and everything. Basically, I'm using a different account than what I was even when I was playing vanilla WoW. I still have like all those collector's editions from back then, like I have the physical copies, but I don't have that account. It didn't get banned, but I gave it to somebody else because I was done playing WoW back when I left Wrath of the Lich King. Gave the account to someone else. Didn't feel like, you know, asking for the account back is any cool. Like, just be like, no, this is my account, I want it back. That's not cool. Like, I gave it to somebody. It was a gift. And then what ends up happening is my dad was dual boxing because my dad plays. My dad's a huge nerd, and he was having fun with it. But when Cataclysm came out, I didn't have an account anymore, so I ended up using his second account, and that's where my druid was. That's where Zenkiki is. That's where my name comes from. And then I basically, once I stopped playing after Cataclysm, I have my own account. You know, I'm an adult man. You know, I have my own Battle.net account now, so I repicked up the game, so I don't have those characters. I got my druid transferred over, and I have to rename him. There's a long thing there with like names getting bound to certain accounts, so I have to wait for 30 days to get him back to being Zenkiki and everything. But at the same time, I lost everything, so I made a monk and I leveled it up from 1 to 100. I did that whole leveling process again, and I enjoyed every moment of it, and it was really fun. There was a lot of nostalgia there. And then I went and got my druid, and now I'm leveling him up to 100 from 90. He was at 90 because my dad had leveled him up because it was on his account, from 85 to 90, which 85 was the Cataclysm cap. Then I used my 100 boost. So if you get Legion, you can boost the character from 1 to 100, just so you're ready to play Legion. And then obviously you can make a Demon Hunter when they're out on the 9th, and you play them before the game is actually released, and kind of get the feel for it before the expansion is out. But basically, I went and boosted a Shaman, an Enhancement Shaman, which is one of my favorite DPS styles. Got them to 100, which is what you're seeing in the background here, and I'm learning that all over again. But regardless of all of that, I'm having fun, and that's something that I haven't done in WoW since Cataclysm, since the beginning of Cataclysm, in the middle. The end, not so much. And I think that's really important. You know, if you're playing a game because you're doing it either through peer pressure or you're doing it because your other friends are playing it, but you're not actually enjoying it, you need to stop playing that game, and maybe move on and play something else for a while, and maybe come back to it. Because that's not to say, you know, I at the end of Cataclysm, I didn't like the game anymore. I needed a palate cleanser. I needed to play something else. But that's not to say that I'll never come back. And I've said it, and it's on the channel, and I regret it, where I said, I am never going to go back to that. Star Wars is my last traditional MMO. I'm never going back to WoW. And you know what happened a few years later? I'm back to playing this freaking game because it's good. And I've realized that it doesn't matter what anybody thinks of what game I'm playing and everything. And I'm back to playing this game because it's fun and I'm having fun with it. Am I going to get into raiding? Probably not. No. My life situation has changed. I'm not really in that scene anymore. It's not my thing anymore, at least right now. You know, I've learned to never say never. That's another thing. Will I eventually go back to playing SWTOR? I'm playing SWTOR right now. You know, trying to get the story stuff done for the series that will go up for Knights of the Fallen Empire, so I can do the new game, or the new story expansion thing that they're doing. Knights of the Eternal Throne, I think is what it's called. Like, I'm back to playing all these games, and I regret ever saying, like, I'm never going back to those, because it's highly inaccurate, and it gives a wrong impression to you guys. And I said this at the beginning, I like suggesting games. I like giving good game suggestions to people because I like them having fun, which is why you see me talk so highly of games instead of bashing on them. I rarely ever bash on a game. I'm more often than not talking very positively about a game, which actually gives the impression that I'm trying to sell it to you guys, but that's not the case. I just like talking about good games, you know, at the end of the day. And this is the same with WoW. You know, Legion is going to make WoW... I'm doing this non-ironically. It's going to make WoW great again, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to playing it. And you know what? If any of you are back to playing WoW, hit me up. I would love to play with you. That's fine. Like, it's one of my biggest regrets in Star Wars is, yeah, we had a guild and we invited everybody to it, but we never actually played with our viewers. So if you're back to playing WoW, let me know. And now you have someone to play with. Now you have several people to play with, because we have several people that we're playing with. And then we suddenly have a large group of people we're playing with. You don't have to be on the same server. You can just invite people to groups. So you cross-server groups now. So, oh, and if you want to get back into WoW, or you've never played it, then, again, hit me up. We'll have people who are already playing, and we'll play Legion together. And I think it'd be really fun. And that's my initiative here. That's why I'm making this video. It doesn't matter what game you're playing, as long as you're having fun with it. And the moment you stop having fun with it, you should stop playing it. Don't feel obligated to keep playing because you've put time into it, or obligated to keep playing because your other friends are playing. Just stop playing and come back to it when you feel like it's ready. But with all that being said, we shall see you guys next time.